Are you bored of the daily grind? If you thought the perfect job was just a pipe dream, it may be time to think again. We've persuaded some of Ireland's top bosses to take a huge risk and open their doors to people with absolutely no experience. We advertised nationwide and you applied in your thousands. This week the search is on for a sports photographer. 6 lucky candidates will get the opportunity to battle it out for the job of their dreams. No experience required. Sports photography is one of the most specialised jobs in the media. Most sports photographs published in Irish newspapers are taken by a very select few. One of Ireland's leading sports photography agencies is Inpho. Employing 7 full-time photographers, Inpho has taken some of the most iconic images in Irish sport. Billy Stickland is Inpho's founder and CEO and has been working in the business for 25 years. With awards like World Press Sports Photographer and Irish Press Photographer of the Year under his belt, he's one of the best in the business.
People think that sports photography is a kind of glamorous life. It's actually very, very hard work.
Sports photographers work long hours and sometimes in terrible conditions. But according to Billy, crouching in puddles by the sidelines is all worth it for the killer shot.
In the last 20 years, I've done everything I ever wanted to do. Went to World Cup in Mexico, Olympics in Seoul, obviously things like Stephen Roche's the Tour de France. I've had a ball, actually.
Jobs in the industry are scarce and the competition's tough. But today, Billy has agreed to open his door and offer someone with no experience the chance of a lifetime. Hundreds of hopefuls applied, but only 50 were called for round interviews, and all are determined to land that dream job.
Just really have a passion for taking pictures and taking nice pictures.
Yeah, it's nice.
Lance Armstrong, I think he was 5 times Tour de France winner.
I have fairly good equipment, like, you know.
It's the boxer.
I have no experience, Lance, when it comes to lenses.
Carrot.
No, I don't know. Nope, no, I don't know. And no, I don't know.
That's as far as I can go, you know. Yeah, I'm exhausted.
From the 50 interviewed, Billy and Inpho's commercial manager Norman McCluskey will choose just 6 to come to the agency for the second round interviews. It's the big day for the candidates. All 6 will be interviewed by Billy and Norman. Of these 6, only 3 will go forward to the 2-week work placement, where they'll battle it out for a 6-month contract with Inpho Photography. First in is Michael Heenahan from Mayo. He has a degree in multimedia and currently works for Setanta Television. Billy was impressed by his sporting knowledge in the first round interviews.
Can you tell me what you think a sports photographer does?
I know it's not a 9-to-5 lifestyle as such, you know, and a lot of travel would be involved. But you know, like, it's a job, but it's also like a hobby, and I think this would be a great step in the right direction for a good career in sports photography. But at the same time, I wouldn't like to limit myself. I'd like to expand like as well from sports, maybe lifestyle and like culture and travel photography and things like that.
You brought one of your own pictures in?
I have, yes. It's a picture I took in Singapore. Just the composition with there's kind of fishes forming a circle around him, and I just like the composition of it.
Okay, okay.
It's great. Thanks very much for having me.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Billy. Thank you. It's the first time I've done an interview like this, so yeah, shaky legs and all that sort of thing, but I think it went all right.
Next is Alan Gallaher from Roscommon. Alan has an MA in multimedia and is a photography fanatic. Billy was impressed by his determination and the fact that he'd managed to blag a press pass for an Ireland-Sweden international.
Why do you think you could be a sports photographer?
Because this is my dream. This is my dream job.
Inpho is a fairly competitive, dynamic agency, right? We work a lot under pressure. What do you think could actually add to it?
I'm used to putting in long hours and working hard. That's one thing I would. I think I have a good eye for a photograph.
You've brought in a picture, is that right?
I have.
Yeah.
This is the one that I would be. It means a lot to me, and I'm quite proud of.
Okay.
I have a rule that I never leave the house without my camera, and I was cycling home one evening and I saw these 2 swans and I was going, my goodness, I've never seen 2 swans. I think I've convinced them that I have the ability to be trained up to be a sports photographer. I'd be quietly confident, but I wouldn't be overly so.
Next up is Mcilroy from Limerick. Michal's studying organic farming, but Billy has chosen him as a wild card because he seems competitive and is passionate about rugby.
What makes you think you could be a sports photographer here?
I don't know really. I enjoy photography. It's a big passion of mine. I love sport as well, and I suppose the two just come together.
What do you think qualities you have?
Well, I don't know. I can't really say what I'm like because, like, I suppose I could be different to anyone, you know, to different people. But
you don't seem coming across as that you've examined yourself and this is really what you want to do.
There's one quote here from your CV which just kind of worries us, which was you're at a match and your equipment goes down, and your quote was, firstly, I think that I was not meant to take the picture for some reason and accept what happens, right? Is that a helpful position for us?
Sometimes things are happen for a reason, and
did you didn't spend some time with the Dalai Lama on your travels, did you, by any chance?
No, but I tried to learn things. Well, I suppose unlearn things.
Okay, Michal.
Probably some of my answers probably went against what they were looking for, but I just had to say it. Like.
Fourth in to interview is James Crumby from Westmeath. James works in IT but spends most of his free time attending sports matches. Billy liked his enthusiasm and his understanding of the unsociable hours that go with the job.
Why do you think, James, you can be a sports photographer?
Well, I love sports. I love every sport. I'd be up most nights till 3 o'clock watching baseball. To be actually getting paid to actually be there to capture, you know, moments in history really would be just something else.
What do you think you could actually add to us by being here?
I like to win, so.
Like to win?
I do.
That's good. Like a bit of winning.
What's your, your level of experience? For example, if you were to create the minimum depth of field in a photograph, what would be the key?
I think it would be the appenditure. I think you heighten the appenditure. Maybe not.
The aperture.
Aperture, sorry.
You're also bringing some photographs, so, or a photograph?
The duffer.
Right, yeah.
I think I'll stand in there. I think it's kind of like, because...
It's difficult taking photographs when you're actually behind a railings looking down.
Yeah. He was defending.
To be a bit critical, what do you think is wrong with that shot?
I think there's too much of everything else in it, really.
Okay. Look, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. I hope my personality came through and the guys seen what kind of person I was, and I suppose my sporting knowledge hopefully will drag me through.
Next is Mcilroy from Dublin, a media student at Ballyfermot College. He's a massive Liverpool fan and a stand-up comedian. Billy felt Alan's outgoing personality could be a great asset to Inpho.
Did you actually think, wow, sports photographer, that's what I really want to do? Or did you think, oh, that's kind of interesting, that'd be, you know, kind of sort of fun to do?
Sports photography, like when I go to the Ireland games and you see them all down at the pitch and taking pictures, and you're like, that's cool, like you'd love to be that close to the pitch, to the players. You know, I like photography a lot and I like sports a lot, so the two of them together, it's cool.
You've brought
yeah, I was tidying up the bedroom and I found this. And
is that your dog?
That's my dog, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And you see all the characteristics in the face, and it's a really good photograph because his head is riddled with wrinkles.
You said that if you had a completely free choice of being something, it would be Batman.
Alright, it may sound stupid, right? What would you do if you won the Euro Millions? And people are saying, I'd do this, I'd do that. I say, I'd be Batman. Right, I'd do is buy a big house, get an English butler, get someone to make gadgets, you know, build a cave, go training in Tibet or whatever. It's possible.
All right, okay.
All right.
Man,
thanks a lot, cheers.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks.
Cheers.
It's a proper job, a job you like, and it looks like a pretty cool place to work.
Last in is Paul McGuckin. He lives in Donegal, has worked in IT and retail, and runs his own website. He's taken evening classes in photography, and Billy was impressed with the research he'd done on Inpho.
And why do you think you could be a sports photographer?
I guess it's something I feel inside, really, I suppose, in terms of a passion. The thing I always look at is, for me, if you can do something that you love, then you'll never do a day's work in your life.
You're living up in Donegal, right? Yeah. I presume it's quite a nice life. Why would you then want to pack that all in to come down to Dublin to work for Inpho?
This kind of thing doesn't come along, probably ever again. I would simply, you know, move down here, live here, And then obviously if things are going well and I'm kept on and all the rest of it, then my wife would move down with me.
You got some photographs?
Yeah, I have a picture.
What do you see in that picture?
Well, it's fairly crisp. It displays the emotion.
It's a good photograph, you know. It's a good shot.
Okay, Paul. Nice,
lovely.
Nice to see you.
Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I thought it was quite nerve-wracking at the start. I felt they began to warm as things went on. So yeah, not bad, I suppose. Hard to say, really.
To help the bosses decide which 3 candidates should be invited back next week, Billy wants to test their abilities at a sporting event.
We're going to set you a photographic task. We're going to bring you to a very important sports event. We want you all have your own equipment. We just want you to take one really good photograph. We want to see how you do it, your attitude, how you position yourself and so on. And what's more important, I'll be watching you all the time.
They think the important event is the international football match at Lansdowne Road.
Lansdowne Road, so yeah. Cheers.
Stan's the man, he's going to rescue Ireland.
Instead, they arrive at a gym where the local table tennis teams are practicing. They have 10 minutes to take one good shot, which Billy and Norman will judge as part of the interview process.
These table tennis players, I've never seen anything like this. Alan hasn't been doing a huge amount, he's just been sort of standing up and looking at it. Hall, for somebody who was actually fairly reserved and laid back and so on in his interview, he's actually been by far the most brave. For me, a lot of this is about angles, right? So it's good to see them getting down low so they get a better angle.
The candidates have submitted one table tennis photo each. Now they have to wait while Billy and Norman decide which 3 will go forward to the 2-week work placement.
This is Michael Heaney's selection. His images were quite weak.
It's interesting because he actually looked the part much more than the others down there.
Just the end result isn't there.
I think that he doesn't have a very clear idea. He sees his job as a stepping stone to something.
Okay, this is Micheál Rossum's, some potential ones, and I could see what he was trying to do. He was trying for different angles.
Actually, watching him, he was by far the most adventurous.
Really nice guy,
lovely guy.
Traffic lights would face.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, this is James Crumby's shot. He kind of knew what he was looking for, and he was actually disappointed that certain shots didn't work out.
Sure. Kept checking the back of the camera to see what he was getting. When he's asked about the opportunity to be a sports photographer, he's very passionate about that. Passionate. That has to be a positive.
This is Alan Mcilroy's. His selection actually of pictures wasn't that bad given what he had.
So I'm quite pleased with what he's produced. Not afraid of hard work.
There's a question mark on how seriously he'd take this, his idea that you could actually be Batman. He seemed to actually really believe it's possible. Paul was quite confident when he came back.
I'm actually kind of disappointed in that shot, I have to say.
He's really enthusiastic. I think he answered our questions really well. We'd still have the reservations about the whole relocating from Donegal though. This is Alan Gallaher. He was very nervous, he was very under a lot of pressure.
That's a nice shot, actually.
Yeah. I've no doubt that he's a hard-working guy. He'd be committed, but whether he'd have that edge to him, you know, we'll have to wait and see.
Having seen all 6 candidates, Billy and Norman have made up their minds, and only 3 will make it through to the next round.
On the good side, we found you very creative. I think you've got a lot of, imagination and individuality.
Picture selection was quite weak. In general terms, I suppose we feel that you weren't as focused in what we want out of someone for the long term.
For that reason, we won't be asking you back for next week.
That's okay.
There was some areas that concerned us, okay? We asked you a technical question about the camera or the lens.
The photograph, I was surprised. I thought that was a good photograph. Your angle on that and the background and so on and so forth, I thought you did a good job on that. You're a great personality. I think you're witty. We'd like you to come back next week.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Okay.